We sure were a motley-looking crew. They took us up in front of a place that said, "Welcome to the United States Army." And a man with about 1,000,000 stripes on his arm gave us a speech. One of the things he said was that now that we were in the Army, a bathroom would be called a latrine, and there was one behind us if we needed it. Then we were off to meet the old equalizer. And if you don't know what the old equalizer is, you're about to find out. It's the Army haircut. They call it the old equalizer because they cut everybody's hair the same way, off. It's not the kind of haircut you got back home. They just put those clippers to your head and let them go. And there's not much left when they're through. After that, we were off to the races, starting a clothing issue. They filled our duffel bags with underwear, socks, and other goodies. Then it was off to be fitted for shoes and combat boots. You know when you were a kid, you used to yell, "Ah, your mother wears combat boots." Well, now you did. And they kept right on building from the ground up. We wouldn't get much chance to wear our fancy green uniforms as long as we were in basic training, but they looked pretty good. Here I am in men's hats. It took this guy 2 tries to find a hat big enough for me. The fatigue pants were definitely a little baggy, but I learned later they like to give you a little extra to give sand room to roll around in. I got so many shots I felt like a human pincushion, but those new shotguns made it almost painless. Well, the Army learned everything there was to know about us, and all that information seemed to boil down to just this: dog tags. Then finally we were on our way, getting onto the trucks that would take us to our basic training companies. We got a good close-up of our drill sergeants, and one thing was for sure: they didn't smile much. They jammed us onto those trucks, and off we went. Well, here we were, our home away from home for the next 8 weeks. They piled us off the trucks even faster than they put us on. Hot KP. Notice the scientific way I cut the eye out of that spud. And I thought everybody ate frozen foods these days. Later on in that first week of training, we were issued our M14 rifles. Then it was more drill and ceremony, this time with our rifles. Monday, we were off to the hand-to-hand combat arena. Hand-to-hand training was supposed to teach us the principles of self-defense in case we ran out of bullets or were caught in combat without our weapon. Kicking, jabbing, and kicking again. Sometimes it got a little rough in the pits. He just grazed me, but I felt it, so I got him back. Bayonet training was next. The drill sergeants demonstrated the movements for us. Then we learned how to do them ourselves. Ah! Then it was back to the hand-to-hand pits to put the two together. I suppose it's possible to take a bayonet away from somebody with your bare hands, but I hope I never have to try it. With all that training behind us, we started to get some order to it. This is the bayonet assault course, a series of obstacles run at full speed with fixed bayonets, vaulting log walls, sticking hard rubber targets, growling viciously all the time. Then we were down on our bellies, crawling under barbed wire to get at more targets. I kept my bayonet safely out in front of me. They tell you the spirit of the bayonet is to kill. And after a while, you start to believe it. Here we are in the rifle ranges to learn that the M14 is more than just a convenient place to attach a bayonet. We spent the first few days on the ranges learning how to sight and shoot properly. That's not a good shot group. From there, we moved to the field firing ranges, where targets pop up from 65 to 275 meters. The targets are electrically controlled, and when the bullet hits them, they go down. Next day, there we were, at it again. You know, in basic training, you've got something new every day. And this was a gas in living color. This was mask practice for CBR, or gas training. I may look funny, but at least I could breathe. From there, we were herded into an innocent-looking little building, which just happened to be full of tear gas. And then we had to take our masks off. We had to give our name, rank, and service number before they let us out. Crying like babies. Oh, man, that's smart. 2 days before graduation, we were given the chance to test our new skills informally on something called the confidence course. Stepping over logs. Gently, fellas, or you might hurt yourself. Swinging over logs, which is real hard to do gently. Up a log ladder 30 feet high. Shinnying up ropes. Then jumping over more logs. Personally, I still had a lot more confidence with both feet on the ground.
Their confirmation will be made in the order of the transportation range unit and your current change from each. All each personnel along with the 90 places now. Measure change here on Benoit Air Base. We're changing on Benoit Air Base and when you're ready, you return to terminal call your unit for transportation.
Going all on a rocky top, that ground too rocky by far. That's why all the folks on a rocky top, they get their corn from a jar. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top.
A tactical application of firepower and maneuver as a means of overcoming resistance.
And during this time, we also were able to adjust artillery on pre-designated concentrations. This would allow us to shift from one concentration to a target in a hurry.
My team and I, we trailed along behind the VC about 75 to 100 meters. We trailed for short waves and came in sight of two more. So we trailed the three of them until we hit an open field, and I had the sniper to drop the one farthest away